Okay, it's me again. I want to talk about this game, so if you don't want to hear me talking, you can just stop watching this right now. Also, if you're a fan of this game, or if you like it, you should probably stop watching it as well, because I'm not going to say good things about it. And keep in mind, I don't have a text in front of me, so I'm not reading a text, I'm just talking as I play. This is not a pre-recorded video. So I'm going to give you a too long didn't read. This game is mediocre, in my opinion. Mediocre at best. It has a lot of problems, and with many aspects, but I think the main thing is just developers are not really, well, they are not quite competent, in my opinion. And you ask, why is this game so popular right now? I mean, 200,000 players on Steam. Why the fuck is that? Well, I don't have an answer to that. Partly maybe because they invested into marketing, probably, but that I don't think that's the main thing. I think the main thing is that people are hungry for action RPGs right now. So yeah, you know, there's Diablo 4, which was like extremely popular at launch, crazy popular. And kind of, I think Diablo 4 popularized the genre quite a bit. You know, then Diablo 4 went away, and things calmed down a bit. And then this came, and then there's Path of Exile 2 coming up in June, I think. So yeah, I think action RPGs are quite popular nowadays, and people just want another thing to play with. So hence the popularity. But anyway, I'm not an expert in building characters or some shit like that. I do have this game since early access, so for a few years at least. I played it in early access. I created several characters, but I didn't really go far. Maybe level 60ish or something. I did get to Monolith and did it, but you know, it was early access, so I wasn't really willing to spend so much time on it. Anyway, why is this game mediocre? Well, in my opinion, because it's mediocre in many aspects, like the design, the overall design, the sound, the music, the visuals, but most importantly, the combat. Most importantly, the combat is just, it feels, well, it doesn't feel really good. And what I mean by combat, I mean it has, like, again, the sounds, the visuals, the feeling of impact, and the skills. Everything else is just, you know, it's an action RPG. So action RPGs are about the combat. They are not about the Excel spreadsheets, you know, and calculating how this works and how that works. That's not, you know, you need to enjoy how the game looks and feels. That's what should make you, you know, coming back for more. And this game doesn't really have that feeling. I remember this game from early access, you know. I remember the original character models they went with, and it was so bad, but they didn't change it. You know, they kept them in game for several years. People have been telling them, like, your character models, your animations, they just suck. They suck. They really suck. They still do right now. So they changed this. They changed character models, they changed animation several times during early access. I mean, look at this. Just look at it. Is this good or what? How does it look? It doesn't look good. What is this? I mean, it's 2024, okay? I'm not saying that I am a graphics whore or something like that. I'm not. I don't. Well, I'm not obsessed about graphics in video games. No, but you know, graphics should have a visual style. You know, some kind of presentation, some kind of, I don't know, harmony. In this game, this is just, it's not there. It's just, you know, I've been searching something about this game on the internet, and I stumbled upon a PC Gamer review of this game. I wasn't actually searching for it, but it came up in the search, so I took a look at it, and you know, what they said was, this is an action RPG with the combat, with the action actually lacking. So about the graphics, look at this. What is this? This is 2024, and this is like, I think, these visuals predate World of Warcraft, back in, many years ago. How can you release a game in 2024 with things looking like this? And this is just one example. There are many others. This is one of the latest skills. They changed it again, yet again. They changed this skill for Primalist. And look. Let me just proc the effects. Do they even work? Okay, I'm using the wrong skill. Okay, look at this tornado. What is this? And at the lightning circle. This is the latest. I remind you, this is the latest skill they added into the game with the game's release. Oh, look at this, for example. What is this? I mean, I have no idea how to program, but I'm 100% sure I could create a better visual effect than this. They didn't change this, I think. It looked like shit in early access, and it still does. And there are many things like this in this game. For example, most of the, if not all of the skills related to cold damage, they all look like crap. I don't know why, but they do. So visuals is one thing. Another thing is like audio. I'm not an audio expert, but music is this game is just, it's bad in my opinion. What is it? This is the main thing. Listen to it. I can sing like that as well. Hey-oh, hey-oh. You know, let me record that soundtrack. I can do that easily. Iowa. It's bad, you know. The main thing about this, about the music and soundtrack, is that it requires it doesn't require like a huge budget. It doesn't require like a huge number of people. I mean, one person, one composer can do it, can record all the music, you know, because. But you need to have a talent. You need to write good music to be able to write good music. If you don't have a talent, this is what comes out. Now, another thing about this game, it's been in early access for I think 5 years, maybe more. Just think about it, 5 years in early access. So they released it. This game still doesn't have a fully fledged campaign because campaign is unfinished, and this game still has tons of bugs, like tons of bugs, different bugs related to everything basically. Like for example, this bug, if you're playing a shape-shifting character like the Leech or the Druid, you're gonna have this. Oops. Your character disappears after you transform back into the human form. It used to work. It used to work when they released the game several days ago. But then they released 2 patches, I think. And the latest hotfix, they released it on Friday, I think. It broke it. So they released the hotfix, broke the game for many players who were using the transformation character, and they went silent. Like they still have no fix for this. This is just, it's not even, you know, it's not like this bug doesn't let you play the game. You know, you can still play the game even with this fucking retarded invisible character. But it's just one example. There are many others. Like people, you can read their forums, their official forums. People have been bombarding them with different kinds of bugs. This doesn't work, this doesn't work, this works incorrectly, etc., etc. And it's not only about the bugs, it's about the game mechanics as well. For example, the DPS shit, you know, the thing that so many people are obsessed about in games like this. They have a tooltip. The only way to see what the game thinks about your DPS is to hover over a skill and check this. You have this damage per second, okay? So this one says 37k damage per second. That's not what it does. It's simply not working. I mean, maybe it was not supposed to show you the exact DPS, but you can't even rely on it as a, I don't know, as a comparative thing. Because what you usually do is you get a weapon, for example, equip it and check the DPS, and if it says the DPS is higher with this weapon, you keep that weapon. But with this shit, it's not like that, because it can mislead you easily. You can equip a weapon, it will say that the DPS is higher, but actually it's not. So this number is just an indication of I don't know, some kind of relative between skills maybe. Like if you have two skills, you can check this one does this and this one does that. So obviously this should be doing more. But it won't tell you shit about your gear. No. And about that invisible bug, what it tells me about, well, personally, I've been reading these forums for quite a while, you know, from time to time. And, you know, it just confirms the fact that these developers, they're bad. They're really bad at communicating with the community. You know, they have official forums on their official website. And so many people are communicating there. So, you know, I've looked there. There are so many reports about this invisible bug. For so many days, people they've been telling them, look, fix this shit, and there's no response whatsoever. Not a word on their official forums. I'm not talking about Steam forums. They don't even have a moderator on Steam forums. They gave it away to Steam moderators. So they are completely lacking their presence. They have no presence on Steam forums whatsoever. Maybe some of them reads it, like lurking on the Steam forums, but they do not moderate it. So they have official forum and they have a Discord. So there was no info on Discord. And you know what they did? They said someone from the dev team said like one thing about this bug, and where? On Reddit, on fucking Reddit. You know, not on the official forums, not on Steam forums, not on Discord, but on Reddit. It's just beyond me, you know? Yeah, and about the game design, game mechanics. Look at this, for example. They have these skills with, I don't know how to call it, a web or some shit, because it's different. It's different for every skill. So my question is, why not organize it in some way? Why do you have to create this fucking mess? You know, and the player has to hover over every fucking skill and just not even remember it, which skill he looked at or which he didn't. It's a goddamn... Why do you have to go with this? Why not organize it? Like, for example, in Grim Dawn, they have this. It's organized horizontally. You know, you have a progress. You start here on the left side and you go to the right side with skill unlocking. Or, for example, why not simply put it in the center and then make a star or some shit? Why do you have to do this? Just to create a, you know, an illusion of complexity, or what? What's the point? And then there's writing, you know, the story. It's not really good, you know. Not only the story, but the writing itself. If you play this, you'll get it. But you know, fanboys, if you're a fanboy, I mean, you probably think that this game has a great story and great writing, etc. Why would a writing matter in RPG, you ask? Well, because you still have the characters. This is still an RPG. You still have the characters, and the characters talk. They have the phrases, and they talk these phrases over and over and over again. So if those phrases are not really good, then, you know. And about the invisible bug. The invisible bug, it was known since early access. They've dealt with it already, like many months ago, I think. But apparently it came back. You know, mobs disappeared. The mobs became invisible. Not only mobs, but minions. The minions you summoned, they also became invisible. These are known bugs. It's not like they're facing them but for the first time. It's just people who bought this game on release, they have no idea about this. This is just a thing, you know. These devs, they are incompetent. They refuse to communicate with people. They refuse to listen to the feedback, you know. And they just can't do shit properly. They fix one thing and break another. What else? Yeah. If you desperately want to play an action RPG, I would recommend skipping this. Play something else. The good thing is there are many others. They are probably not so popular right now, but they do exist. Even free-to-play games. I wouldn't want to recommend Diablo 4. I never played Diablo 4, and I'm not willing to do that. But there are other games like Grim Dawn, for example. It's an old game, but if you haven't played it yet, you better play that, for example. You can even play free-to-play Undecember. I think Undecember is even better than this game. It's a fucking free-to-play game, and it looks and feels better than this one. But people don't want to play it. They consider that game pay to win. And about Grim Dawn and the Kreight Entertainment, I think I think that's my opinion. They made a mistake. They went for the city building simulator. You know, the Final Frontier, I think it's called. I realized that this is probably their passion project. You know, they always wanted to create a city building simulator, so they did it. But I think they missed an opportunity because RPGs are popular right now. They are going to release yet another expansion for Grim Dawn, but I think that also was a mistake because instead of you know, focusing on the old game, Green Dawn, they should have spent efforts on developing a new one, Green Dawn 2, or I don't know, another ARPG title. Look how powerful my build is, you know, doesn't matter that you know, it's area level 7. It's my build that's so powerful. Talking about the good things about this game. So you can really create different builds. Yes, this game does have this. There are opportunities. So this is the latest class they added, the Falconer. And look, my main skill is Acid Flask, the very old skill. You can get it for free at even before reaching level 20, before picking up a subclass. So yeah, I went with Acid Flask, and these new skills, they have options for Acid Flask. The bird can now drop Acid Flask, and that is net. The net can do poison damage, and this is also old skill, Shift. Shift can drop Acid Flask as well. So this is a throw-in poison Acid Flask based build. And it's pretty much finished, you know, just keep playing with this shit. I find it pretty good. But this is just one of the opportunities. You could build very, very differently. Like using the bird more, for example. Or using other throw-in skills like umbral plates or decoy or ballista. Ballista is minion, but your bird also scales with minion. Could build a trapper with explosive trap. Explosive trap also has Acid Flask related shit. So there are options, yes. That's a good thing about this game. If you want to say end game, I think end game is this, you know, fucking mantra that fanboys keep talking about. End game. Diablo 4 has no end game. End game. Who the fuck cares about your fucking end game? Jesus fucking Christ. The game, that's what important. The combat, the fucking action. If there is no action, no one gives a fuck about your fucking end game. For Christ's sake. I mean, you can create a game, and instead of skills and visuals and audio, you know, a spreadsheet would pop up, and, you know, like numbers going from your character to enemies, you know, and instead of some visual effects, you will have only numbers. And on the left side, you would have a spreadsheet, and it would show how much numbers are going away from your character into the enemy, and what is the final result, so you could measure your DPS. You know, you want that? I suppose those guys do want that. It's not what makes or breaks the game, you know? I was waiting all these years in early access. I was waiting, like, okay, maybe they will release a game. Maybe they will fix this and fix that. Maybe they will change, okay? They will add this. They will make this game look better. Okay, the release came and they did none of it. I mean, they finally added some things, like they made mobs say something. For fuck's sake, finally, some of the mobs started... to say something. They have a voice now. Imagine that. They didn't, because they didn't have that in early access. The game started to feel a bit more alive than it used to be, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Look at this summer, for example. What is this? This is a piece of cloth hanging from her ass. I'm thinking about what else can I say, and just you know, I think I mentioned all the things I wanted to mention. Yes, the shit is unstructured. If you like structured and pre-recorded videos, you can go the fuck away from my channel. I don't do that shit. I'm pretty sure I could mention many other things. I just don't remember everything, and I don't have a text in front of me. So this is coming out of my head right about now. There are things like this, for example. So this is these are the subclasses: the Blade Dancer, the Marksman, and the Falconer. So for whatever reason, the Falconer, the latest one, has 5 skills, and these two have only 4. Why? Your guess is as good as mine, because it's not yet finished. It's not only about the rogue, actually. The same shit is with other classes. This one, for example, the Beastmaster and Druid, they have 5 skills each. Shaman only 4 skills, and it has been like that for years. You know, they haven't touched Shaman for several years. All in all, maybe, just maybe, this game will become better. But, you know, I used to think like that before the release. I used to think that it will become better. It has the same problems it used to have in early access. And the conclusion is the developers are simply not really competent. They're not capable of going through the limit, you know, to overcome their limit. But this is my opinion, you know, maybe this game will become the next Path of Exile, which I seriously doubt, but maybe. I simply think it doesn't deserve the attention it's getting, and the hype will die down soon, and it will come back to where it should be. It's a mediocre game, there are better alternatives. Today I never mentioned actually the huge problems with the server or the network connections during the first days of release. You know, that's not even. It's a bad thing, sure, but it's not the thing that makes or breaks the game. You know, it has been several days, and they managed to fix their spaghetti code to make this shit work. So it's bearable, but it's not the thing that makes or breaks the game. No, it doesn't really matter. Other things do, and you won't be able to fix them in 3 or 5 days. No. So I said what I wanted to say. Finally, I'm shutting this shit down. So yeah, subscribe. If you like this shit, you can like it. Leave a comment. Tell your friends. Until next time.